Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Just a quick update on the 67 Mustang. We got wheels kind of half together. We got wheel rings and the inserts and the knockoffs glued in place. We painted the inserts testers steel, and it's got a gloss coat on them now, so they're all sealed up. They turned out really nice. I think they're going to look good. We're still working out rims on or inserts on the back of the wheels, and how I'm going to get disc brakes behind this baby. I've got rotors glued together, and they're ready to go. We still have to work out calipers, what we're going to do for calipers on this. But work in progress. We're probably going to use the stock rear end on this, and that's kind of the next thing once we get wheels totally figured out. I think I'm going to mount these little hub adapters on the back because I think they're going to fit the rear end fine. I may have to shave the rear end down and relocate those leaf springs, but that's kind of the next task. Where else are we? Hang on. I've been working on motor too, primarily. Give me 1 sec. And motor's pretty much together now. I've still got my hose clamps I have to make for it, and get those slid on and glued in place. Just finished wiring up the distributor on it and gluing the upper and lower rad hose and the 2 heater hoses in place. We're running a Scale Productions distributor on this one. It's a little smaller scale, and it seems a little bit more scale correct for these cars. We're probably going to run a Parts by Parks air cleaner on it too. Hang on. No. There we go. It's kind of like the icing on the cake. So that should look pretty good when we're done here. I've got a bit of detailing to do on the fan bolts on the front. What else have we done to this? Plug wires are plumbed. Got a fuel line that runs from the fuel pump. And the fuel line runs up from the fuel pump up to a fuel filter on the other side that runs to the carb. Vacuum line for the distributors plumbed. It runs from the vacuum advance around over to the base of the carburetor. You've also got a little heat riser tube that runs from the exhaust manifold up to the choke on the carb. Just for the choke setup on it to get warm air up to there to get the choke to turn off when it's proper, when it's supposed to. Alternator's wired up. What else have we got? Hang on, back around the other side. We've got throttle spring, throttle linkage is there. We've got throttle cable is glued in place, and it'll run back to the firewall. And we've got our brake booster vacuum line glued in place, and that'll of course get glued up to the brake booster when we get to that stage of things. And yeah, that's kind of where we are. I've been spending most of my time on the motor, obviously. The rest of the model's in the same state. Nothing done on it other than working a little bit on wheels while glue dries on the motor. We're just coming along good. I want to show you guys one more thing. Hang on. when we get to our mock-up stage for our, hang on, zoom out. When we get to our mock-up stage for our suspension, especially the rear end, is, get rid of these, hang on. When we go to mock up our rear end, I wanted to show you guys what I do anyway. Things you take for granted that you don't even think about, but sometimes I like to stop to mention some of the things I do. This stuff here, it is Elmer's removable adhesive tack. You can buy the stuff in blue and orange, and I've tried the blue. I don't care for it. It seems too hard. This stuff's really good when you're going through mock-up, especially when you're doing things like motor and exhaust manifolds, or trying different headers on engines to see if they're going to fit in the chassis without gluing them in place. And I'll show you what I mean. Hang on. You guys have probably seen this in some of my videos in the background. It's my paint thinner, and the lid I keep my little balls of this Elmer adhesive tack on top of it. But what I will do when we go to mock up the rear end on this thing is I will take some of this and roll it out. Exciting stuff, eh? Alright, then we get it rolled out in a little strip. We'll hack off a little piece, like about so, like about so. And we'll take a little piece of this and shove it in the leaf spring, like this. And where'd you go? There you are. And we'll take the other little piece, and we'll shove it in there, like so. And then we just take our rear end and figure out orientation this way, and that way. I think. No, this way. And we just shove that on there and shove the other side on. Like so. Make sure it's lined up. And give it a little bit of a tweak. And we take our chassis and we lay this baby down on there. And I got it backwards. Hey, glad I didn't glue it. But it's great stuff if you want to do any mock-up and dry fit, saving you having to hold it with 12 hands and 45 fingers. So you can see how stuff is going to fit together, especially when you start doing modifications to stuff. And we get that in there. Come on, where's the hole? Where's the hole? Oh, got it. Like so. Now we can see how this baby is all going to fit together without using tape, and because it's one of those things that tape really doesn't hold the thing in place very well. So just a little trick that I've been doing over the years, guys. And if you haven't already got some of this stuff, this Elmer's removable adhesive tack, should pick some up. It's really good stuff. It never dries out, and I've always got stuff handy on my little paint thinner bottle. So just a tip, guys. Other than that, there's not a whole lot else going on with this thing. We've been spending most of our time on the motor, and as I said, we've got hose clamps still to do. I got some more detailing on the fan I got to get done, and a little bit of touch up here and there. But other than that, motor is pretty much ready to go. Anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on what's going on, guys, and motor's coming along good. Next thing is going to be suspension, front and rear, and trying to get basically the right ride heights before we go any further with this thing. And same story, once I get the front set on ride height, I probably won't set the rear until the model's pretty much assembled. But anyway, guys, just thought I'd give you a quick update. And as usual, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.